Hope you're okay. Hope you are at home, keeping distance, wash your hands, and observe all the procedures that were given to fight the COVID-19 so that we can meet face to face once again. For now, I want us to use this chance to proceed with where we had stopped before we broke up, that is in integers, so that we can keep updating ourselves. For now, we are going to look at the operation of integers on the number line, hoping we continue with the other one about the other operation without the integer, without the number line. For now, we are going to look at the operation of integers using the number line. Remember that the number line is very important, especially with integers, because it can help us get answers without toiling or without going through hassle of trying to use our mental brain or using our mental work to find out the correct answer. So let us look at the operation of addition first and foremost. How do we carry out addition using a number line? All these operations, for you to be successful in getting the right answer, you need to know the procedures. Number one, we are going to look at some of the key factors that we need to know when we are carrying out these operations. First and foremost, we need what we have. We need to know what we call the absolute value of an integer. The absolute value of an integer. What do you mean by the absolute value of an integer? The absolute value of an integer is the value of that integer, irrespective of whether it's a positive or a negative. If you are looking at an integer, its absolute value is the value of that integer without taking in consideration that this is a positive integer or a negative integer. For example, if you are talking about 5, the absolute value of negative 5 and positive 5 is the same. Here you are looking, if there are 5 mangoes, you are looking at 5 mangoes. Whether you borrowed them, whether they are yours, they remain 5 mangoes. If you have got 1,000 shillings from somebody, that 1,000 shillings is a negative 1,000, which is considered to be less than the positive 5,000. For example, you have it or you got it from working, you work and you are paid 1,000. That one you have not borrowed it, it is a positive integer. But the 1,000 which you have borrowed and the one which you had or which you got through good ways in which you need to borrow remains 1,000. The other one will not become less than this one is a negative, now it is less than the other one. But when you are looking at the integer side, the negative 1,000 is less than the positive 1,000. So the absolute value of that integer remains the value of that integer without looking at its positive side or its negative side. And on the number line, it is the distance from the 0 to the integer. For example, from 0 to negative 5, you take 5 steps. From 0 to positive 5, you take 5 steps. The number of steps you take when you are going to the negative side, the number of steps which you are going to take when you are going to the positive side, remain the same, no difference. That's what we mean by the absolute value of an integer. That is number one. Number two, we need to look at what we call the operation sign. The operation sign. We need to differentiate the operation sign from the integer sign. When you are reading and you say negative, that is an integer sign. When you say positive, that is an integer sign. But when you read the sign as plus, that now ceases to be an integer sign, but rather a positive sign. When you say minus, that is not an integer sign, that is an operation sign. Because the way the operation sign is used in a number line and the way the integer sign is used in the number line, really the two are different. And lastly, we also need to look at what we call the integer sign. The integer sign. So we need to differentiate the operation sign from the integer sign. Now, since you have got the three, the absolute value, the operation sign, the integer sign, now next we are going to look at the procedures. What are the procedures of carrying out operation of addition on the number line? The first procedure, like I've said, is to know the absolute value of that integer. Which integer am I working with? If you are dealing with negative 5, then be sure that you're going to take 5 steps to whichever direction you'll be going. which will be determined by the integer sign. But for the absolute value, don't count 5 steps as 10 steps, don't count 8 steps as 5 steps, and make sure that the gap between your steps remains the same, between the integers remains the same. Don't say, since I'm going to the negative side, I'm going to have a small gap. Since I'm going to the positive side, I'm going to have a bigger gap. When you create that difference, then you have the wrong answer. So you need to know that the absolute value will let you have the equal number of steps from one side or from the one integer to another integer. So first and foremost, you need to know the absolute value of the integer. What is the absolute value? You need to determine the absolute value of the integer. Determine the absolute value of the integer, which is in the consideration or which you are going to deal with. Then after that, you also need to determine or identify the integer sign. Now that you have known that the integer you are dealing with will be having 5 steps, which type of integer is that? Is it a negative integer or a positive integer? Now, for a negative integer, after knowing that this is a negative integer, then you need to know the direction. After knowing it's a negative or positive, now you need to know the direction of movement. The direction of movement. And in this, the direction of movement, we are saying that a negative integer will dictate negative integer will dictate movement towards the left-hand side of the number line. Let's look at this carefully. A negative integer will dictate movement towards the left-hand side of the number line. When you are dealing with a negative, whether the arrow is on a positive number, whether it is on a 0, whether it is on a negative number, as long as the arrow is pointing towards the left-hand side of the number line, already automatically that is a negative integer. Some of you normally look at an integer, you determine an integer from where the arrow has been located. For example, you find the arrow is on positive 5, but it is facing the left-hand side, and you call it a positive integer because it is on a positive number. The direction of the arrow is the one which determines whether it's a negative or positive. So since you have seen that a negative integer dictates movement towards the left-hand side of the number line, then it will mean that a positive integer dictates movement towards the right-hand side. Right-hand side of the number line. When you have a positive integer that you're going to deal with, you automatically know that it will be dictating that you move towards the left-hand side of the number line. Whether it is on a negative number, whether it's on a positive number, as long as the arrow is pointing to the right hand side of the number line, automatically it means that is going to be a positive integer. Now, after looking at those, then we now look at this is the direction of movement. Then we look at the operation. The operation is addition. What is real? What is addition in real expression, for example? So when you talk about addition, here we're looking at increasing what you already have. Take an example, you have 5 cows. When you buy 10 cows, you have added to the ones which you had. Most people look at the addition in the context of just adding on the paper, like you normally add 5 plus 3, but unless you put this in the mind of what you do, like for example, you are now at home, what you are doing at home, then that's when you get the right explanation of what I'm going to give you here. For example, if you are reading your book today, you read 5 pages, tomorrow when you read 10 pages, you will have added. If you move from, for example, Kampala, and you move to Masaka, now, from Masaka, if you come back and reach Lukaya, don't say because I've come back to Kampala, I'm coming back to Kampala, I'm removing that distance. That's a mistake. You are already wasting, you are already using the time, you are already using the speed, you are already there. You can't say you have removed the distance, you are already moved. So when you move from Kampala, you move to Masaka. From Masaka, you come back a bit, let's say you have reached Lukaya, that is addition. The distance you have moved will be added. It will not be subtracted because you have come back. So when, let's not put that mistake, when we are adding, when we continue the process of what we are doing, that is already addition. So after knowing that addition means to continue, to add means to continue, because remember we are dealing with distance when we are talking about a number line, we are dealing with the distance. So to add means to continue. When you start from where you have ended, to continue from the end, since you are looking at the number line, the end point, continue from the end point of the first integer. Continue from the end point of the first integer. This is to add. Whether you are taking the negative direction, whether you are taking the positive direction, as long as the second arrow is beginning from the end point of the first arrow, automatically that will be addition. So, without wasting more time, let's look at some of the examples here. Take an example, you are carrying out this operation. Work out 3 plus 4 using a number line. Work out 3 plus 4 using a number line. So we shall have our number line here. Here we have, let's say, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are going to count this operation using this number line. We're going to add positive 3 plus positive 4. Remember, we have our procedures here. Number 1, we need to know the absolute value. What is the value of this number? Since this number is 3, it means on our number line, when we are locating this integer, we have to locate it using 3 steps. Not looking at 3 and we say 3 is here. No. We have to look at 3 steps. That's what I mean by the absolute value. This 3 does not mean positive 3 which is located here. It means that your arrow, your type of movement will be having 3 steps. So that is the first one, absolute value. Second, after looking at the absolute value, we determine the integer. Remember, in our introduction, we said that a positive integer can be either written with a plus sign or without a plus sign. If you write it with a plus sign, it's a positive. If it doesn't have a plus sign, it's also a positive. So any integer without a sign is a positive integer. So since this 3 has no sign, it means it is already a positive integer. Next, we are looking at the direction of movement. We say this direction of movement is determined by the integer sign. So since this 3 is a positive, where do you think we are going to go to? Like we have said, a positive dictates movement towards the right hand side. It means we are going to be moving towards this side. So our positive 3 will dictate that we move towards this side. Then our starting point, of course, will start without anything. So our starting point is 0. So we are going to have 0 as our starting point. That's 1. After that, the direction, because 3 is a positive, we are going to move towards the right hand side. The value of 3 is the absolute value of this integer is 3, meaning we are going to count 3 steps from where we are. Don't count this, count the step. The step is from here up here. So this is 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. So it means that our movement will end there. But we have to locate that we have been moving by having this line. Now when you leave your number line like this is not movement. Where are you going to? You have to show the arrow of direction, this arrow, that our integer is going to be 3. But you can't easily tell whether it's 3 or not, unless you write here that this is positive 3. So this is our first integer located using our procedures. After that, remember we said we also have to talk about the operation. The operation sign is addition, and we have said to add means to continue from the end point. What is the end point? This is the starting point because there is no arrowhead. This is the end point of this arrow, which is determined by this arrowhead. So to start to add, we have to begin from here. Whether we are going to the positive direction, whether we are going to go to the negative direction, as long as we begin from here, already that is addition. So we shall start from here and count the steps which are determined by the absolute value of the next integer we are dealing with. Bear in mind that this is a positive, meaning we shall have to go to the positive side. Not because of addition, but because 4 is a positive. So we are continuing this side because 4 is a positive. And we shall not go to this 4. I'm saying absolute value, meaning you have to count 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means we shall end from here. Then join these 2 parts. Have the direction shown by the arrowhead, and the integer is positive form. So, is there any other thing to do here? Automatically, it is not there because our operation ends with 4. But an operation being an act, every act must produce the result. So, after showing our operation and we leave it like this, what is the result? You have to show the result. Remember, we began with nothing, which means we have to begin from the 0. We began with nothing. Where have we ended from? The end point of the last arrow determines the answer. Now that we have ended from 7, it means that we have to join these 2 gaps. Then the arrowhead will be this, which means our integer sign is going to be a positive. Like I've said, don't dwell on this and you say it is 7. You never know, you may find you have not started from the 0. So you have to count the absolute value of that integer by counting the gaps between these numbers. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. which is a positive that you can either write with an integer sign or without an integer sign. So this is the operation that is being carried out, but what is the result? The result is always written in a mathematical form, which we call a mathematical sentence, that says that when you get positive 3 and you add their positive form, you get the result of positive 7. That is our answer to this question. Let us look at second example. Work out negative 3 plus positive 6. Work out negative 3 plus positive 6. Using our procedures, I hope you're following me. You should even be having the answer right now using these procedures. So, here we shall have our number line. Have to draw our number line. Have here, let's say negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is 6. So, like we have said, here now, I hope you are following me very well. The procedures are, number 1, determine the absolute value of the integer, which is 3. Whether it's negative or positive, it means you're going to move 3 steps. Number 2, the integer sign is a negative. So this negative means that we are going to move towards the left-hand side of the number line. But remember, we start the operation without anything, so our starting point is 0. So we're going to move 3 steps towards the negative direction, because the absolute value is 3, negative direction, which is dictated by this negative side, left-hand side. 1, 2, 3. We end here, and then we join these dots. Here we have our negative 3. Now, after dealing with this, we are now going to deal with the operation sign. The operation sign being addition, we have said we have to continue from the end point. First arrow. So we are going to begin from here and move 6 steps. So it's value 6, but 6 being a positive, it means now we shall move towards the right hand side of the number line. So our 6 steps will be counted from the starting point, not up 6 absolute value. How many steps are you counting? So you have to count 6 steps on the right hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our 6th step ends from here. And then we join these dots. Positive. This is positive 6. So after that, remember we have to determine the answer. And since we begin with nothing when we are adding, it means our starting point for the answer will be a 0. And I have said, where you end from, what you end with, will be your answer. So we have ended from here. It means that our answer will end from there. And then, of course, the direction is now positive. Integer, we count the absolute value of this integer. How many steps does it cover? 1, 2, 3. So it means our integer will be positive 3. After that, we write a mathematical sentence. Therefore, negative 3 plus positive 6 will give us positive 3 as the answer. So briefly, that's how we count addition of integers using number line. You can use these procedures to count any operation of addition using number line. Try as many questions as possible, and then you see whether you're getting the correct answers next time. You can try this question. work out negative 4 plus negative 2. Work out negative 4 plus negative 2, of course, using a number. Using a number line. Hope you have carried out this question using the procedures given, and you must be having this one as your answer. Negative 4, starting from 0, moving in the negative direction because it's a negative integer, counting 4 steps. Because we are adding, we are going to continue from the end point of the first arrow, count 2 steps towards the negative side because it's a negative integer dictating that we move towards the left again. So we move towards the left, counting 2 steps, and the answer will be from 0 up to where we ended with the last arrow, and then the result will be written as negative 4 plus negative 2, which is equal to negative 6. One thing you need to avoid is using other methods, using mapping method, using other methods to work out and first get the answer. You may get a wrong answer, yet the instruction is saying using a number line. So it is always important that you follow the instructions given. Now that you have tried and got the answer, you have understood this, I think you can easily work out for me this exercise about addition of integers using a number line. Work out the following. Work out the following using a number line. Work out the following using number line. Negative 2 plus positive 7. Negative 3 plus negative 3. 8 plus negative 4. Then 6 plus positive 2. Then finally, positive 2 plus negative 7. Try out these questions, and then we shall look at the answers next time. Please try to keep revising because we need to keep updated with our work. See you next time. That's enough for today. Keep safe, keep at home, stay away from people, keep social distance. Nice day.